As the world seeks to move away from an age of fossil fuels to an age of green energy in order to stem the negative effects of climate change, Africa has an opportunity to take part in this huge and new economic reframing of the energy system of the world. Over the last 200 years, humanity has relied on fossil fuels, and the reliance on fossil fuels has led to climate change as we see it today, but has also empowered petrostates to become superpowers and to become very rich. We've seen the Middle East, that used to be regarded as a desert, become very powerful and very rich from the sale of fossil fuels. Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Qatar, all these places that many Africans like to run into today, made their wealth from the sale of petrol fuels, so fossil fuels. Unfortunately, we have many African countries that did not use the fossil fuels properly. And so this presents an opportunity now for us to be able to tap into the opportunities being presented by climate change and the need to move away from dirty fossil fuels to clean energy. And African governments can tap into this opportunity across two main areas. The first area is essentially to sensitize their population about what is going on, getting people to realize that the age of walking into a petrol station to get petrol to power your vehicle or your generator, that age is going to an end. And that now there is the opportunity for you to power your electric vehicle at home, for you to generate your own energy, your own power at home from a solar system or a wind system, rather than relying on a central grid. Beyond education and advocacy, the governments can provide economic incentives. For example, providing rebates to consumers who buy electric vehicles, providing tax cuts to businesses that are involved in the importation and installation of clean energy systems like wind and solar systems. This in turn would lead to a reduction in prices of these systems to the consumers and would enable more people uptake these systems for their businesses and their homes. Further, we African people and our governments can provide the training that is required for technicians to be able to learn how to set up and install the systems. This will create millions of jobs and new areas for our people, our vocational people, to begin to work in this new emerging industry. Beyond this advocacy and economic incentives, there is the opportunity for Africa to insert itself into the actual supply chain of green products. One of the ways to do this would be to essentially begin to export raw commodities, so lithium, cobalt, copper, the extensive reserves of these commodities across Africa. And there is the opportunity for many African governments to begin to mine these commodities and export them for dollars. Obviously, we need to deal with the mining rights of the local communities to avoid the issues we faced with fossil fuels. And we also need to charge a high enough share of royalties on the export of these commodities. Beyond the export of commodities, we should also look at inserting ourselves into the supply chain of processing. So processing the lithium further, the cobalt further, the copper further before exports, so we can earn a higher share of the income. Further, we can actually begin to assemble batteries, electric vehicles, solar systems locally and train our people to be able to do this. There's no reason why our universities cannot be centers for innovating long-lasting battery fuel cells, or of innovating ways in which to improve on electric vehicles and solar systems. Lastly, there is opportunity to co-locate heavy industries on the ground in Africa. We've seen a situation where Europe is taxing the production of glass, steel, aluminium using coal. So many of these big industries in Germany and Europe are looking for new places to set up site. And Africa can be a place where they can set up and co-locate, producing these heavy industrial items using wind, solar, hydropower. We can even move on to produce green hydrogen, which can be used as a fuel for heavy shipping and heavy trucking. There's a lot of opportunities for we Africans to take in this new age, in this green energy age, for African countries to become superpowers of green technologies. What are your thoughts? Let me know.